I'm your host, Cherry G. My co host, Dr. Michael Shiroya, he is actually in Africa. He's wrapping up his trip there. He's going to have some exciting stories for us. But I have my other co host out of Florida, listen to me, Dr. Andre. I done promoted you. Pastor Andre Tate, he is on the line. And you guys, we have ShannaJefferson here. This is going to be an amazing show. We're going to have a surprise call-in guest. And she's going to let y'all see up close and personal just how amazing she is and what she does. But before we get started, you guys know I like to do the shenanigans, the things we open up with the craziness. So I know a lot of you saw my Facebook post last night about me sitting outside. Well, I wasn't outside. I was in the classroom, well, in the building where my class was, my public speaking class. And I'm just minding my own business. I'm trying to be me on the phone, talking to my sister, eating my pizza, and this snake just crawls across my foot. So, yes, I ran out my shoes. I didn't put it on the Facebook post. I hit them with the pizza, and I kept it going, So when I ran, when people see people running, they run too. So I had a crowd of folks running with me, and we were running, and then they finally asked what we were running for. I was like, well, there was a snake in the building. So for those of you guys that saw the video, yes, I did call my son and told him he needed to come from Kennesaw State to come check my bag. Naturally, he laughed at me. So, but we ended up checking the bag, in the class, throwing the bag, running to make sure the snake wasn't there. But I'm going to tell you guys something. That's some serious business. I do not do snakes. I do not do frogs. And I do not do spiders. So everybody that judge me, I really don't care. Because, and it wasn't a big snake, guys. It was probably a foot long. But that was 1 foot too long. You understand what?
Snake.
Right. I'm like, and the security campus that I called, the campus security, he gonna tell my son, what you want me to do? I'm like, I want you to come out here and get this snake. What you mean what I want you to do? So he wasn't willing to look for it. I think it went into one of the offices. So whoever is in their office this morning may get a surprise or whatever, but I'm telling y'all, this is some serious business about these snakes and everything else. So everybody that judged me, I was like, wait a minute. I know you ain't talking. What if a snake rolled by your foot? I'm gonna ask you that, Andre. Would you have ran, or would you have just sat there and said, "Oh, that's a snake"?
Cherry, I had a snake in my house.
Oh no.
So I had no choice but to deal with it. But yes, was I scared? Yes, I was. I had what you call an out of body experience. But either the snake was going to get to my living room or my bedroom.
Oh no.
And I said, if it gets to the bedroom, it's over.
We moving out. Yes. And you know what? He lives in Florida, guys. So in Orlando, we should be used to the snakes because you see them all the time. Especially, what kind was it, Andre?
They said I thought it was a diamondback rattlesnake, but it was a corn snake.
Oh well, see, corn, rattle, green, black, it don't matter. It was a snake. What about you, Shanna?
As I indicated, a snake is a snake.
Because everybody's like, oh, Cherry, it was just a garden snake. I don't care.
Yes.
It could have been a Barney snake. It was a snake.
Yes.
But so everybody that was like, girl, you were tripping. It ain't that serious. I know y'all would have ran. Andre, thank you for being honest, because a lot of the fellas were like, girl, ain't nobody gonna run from a snake. Yes, you would have. So stop playing, because you know you would have ran. They know they would have.
All the way out.
All the way out. Look, would have passed me while I was running. So it was an epic way to end my day yesterday. I had a long day. I did some Bono Speed consulting for Taproot yesterday. So I met 3 amazing nonprofits that I was able to sit down with, and we're going to be bringing and doing some things with them so I can help them push their businesses out there. But it was just all in fun. This was the first week back in classes, and I was saying to myself, did I really think this thing through? Did I think it through? But I'm excited about it. I have some amazing instructors that I'm a part of classes this year. I have some amazing students in class, so I'm looking forward to the year.
Yes.
So 1 more down and 2 more to go. So we can get this on out the way.
Yes, ma'am.
So Andre, tell us how your week has been.
Actually, my weekend, I've been going through a lot, but I'm staying positive. I'm speaking positive. I'm giving myself positive affirmation, and I believe that is really what's helping me get through this particular week at this time. So I'm
you know, and that's the best way to be. And I'm glad you said that. You guys, when we come back, we're going to get to meet Miss ShannaJefferson. We're going to have you stay tuned. You guys be ready because this show is going to be impactful. So stay tuned. Attention moms and dads, it's that time of year again. Back to school shopping. Start their year off right with new gear. Shop the hottest items for back to school at SimplyTailorKids.com. And guess what? Simply Tailor is giving up to 40% off and free shipping on orders over $75. Miss Taylor says this is a sale you don't want to miss. Shop today. SimplyTailorKids.com while supplies last. Listen up, everybody. Mark your calendars and join me, Cherry G, with Destiny Talk Live on Thursday, August 30th from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Atlanta NX on IBNXradio.com. From 12 noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, recent Clark Atlanta graduate and author Sabrine Jolly will talk about her book, Same Sky, Different Light. From 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mark Davenport, the wealth strategist, and Grace Holden, the champion builder of the Blueprint of the CEO, will tell us how they help CEOs launch, build, and grow profitable businesses. You simply don't want to miss out. Follow us and stay engaged. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Now we're going to get into what we call destination greatness. How do you transcend from adversity and achieve greatness? So I have Ms. ShannaJefferson here. You guys, we have been trying to connect, almost about 5 or 6 months now?
Yes, at least.
Yeah, so it's been a great journey, and I always say things come in at the time, divine order, at the right time. And so I'm glad that we finally were able to connect and that you were here with us today. Shanna, give them a little bit about who you are.
Yes, well, thank you. Happy Therapy Talk Thursday to the Destiny Talk Live listening audience. I'm certainly grateful to you, Cherry G, for this opportunity to share with your audience today. Once again, I am Shanna A. Jefferson, and I hail from a small town in South Carolina called Allendale. So shout out to everyone from Allendale that's listening in today live with us. Professionally, I am a life coach, entrepreneur, mental health therapist, speaker, and agent of change.
I love that, agent of change. You know, people come up with all kind of fancy names that don't mean anything. But agent of change speaks volumes. What do you think about that, Andre?
I think that is an amazing name, agent of change. That is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to adapt that in the way I do things and the way I think and talk about stuff. Because tell me, why agent of change? What made you come up with that phrase?
Yes, my life motto is, for to whom much is given, of him much shall be required. So I have certainly been blessed in my life in many ways. And I feel like it's my life's calling and purpose to give back to others, to be a light for others who are experiencing darkness and whatever other adversities that they may be experiencing in their life.
So what made you get into that profession? Because it's a dark profession, okay? It's a heavy profession because you've got to learn how to step out of what you're being told and come back to Shanna, because if you don't, it will consume you. So what got you involved in this, wanting you to do this type of work?
Yeah. First and foremost, I've always been a social worker at heart, going back to, say, elementary school, middle school, high school. If there were a family in need, I will be one of the primary ones to organize efforts to assist that family. So if someone's house burned down, I will be the one to organize a drive to collect supplies for the family. So the concept of giving back, being an agent of change, being a servant, doing for the greater good has always been instilled in me. And honestly, that was instilled in me by my father, Mr. George M. Jefferson.
I read he was a civil rights activist, correct?
Yes, my father he was born in Maysville, South Carolina, small town in South Carolina. Actually doesn't even have a street light, so it's so small. But yes, my father, he was a civil rights activist, an educator, educator, matter of fact, for 33 years, and 28 of those years at my high school, Allendale Fairfax High School in Fairfax, South Carolina.
Okay.
Yes.
So that, I mean, so you come from a family of agent of change.
Yes.
Your father certainly, because he was a civil rights activist, was that was a part of his calling. So I can see now why you do what you do, and that's pretty awesome. How was it growing up in a home like that, though? Was it heavy shoes?
You know, I certainly stand firm, I feel, on the shoulders of my father, as well as his twin brother, Mr. Willie W. Jefferson, who was actually mayor of their hometown for a significant period of time. And my father and uncle, they were actually born 1929. They just, well, if they would have lived, they would have turned 89 on August 10th of this year.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, the same year as Dr. King, they were born. And so certainly, you know, the stories that we read about in school or hear from others, I was actually blessed to receive those stories from my father. So it was certainly gave me a different perspective on life, and certainly, as you indicated, certainly helped me fulfill my purpose and greater calling as well.
So somebody else's birthday, I know, is on August 10th.
Oh.
Who is that, Andre? Whose birthday is August 10th?
You know what? I just want to say this. I know without the shadow of a doubt that your father was a great man. Number one, he was a civil rights activist. Number two, he was a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, which I am. And number three, he was born on August 10th. That's the same day I was born on. Leo the Lion. Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Well, happy belated birthday to you as well, Andre.
Thank you so much.
I knew he was going to get a kick out of that one. I said, I'm not even going to say nothing. I'm just going to send him the information so he can see, hey, we share some greatness here.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Shanna, I want to ask you this. In your practice and stuff that you do, what is your percentage? Do you have a lot of men? Do you have a lot of women? Or is it equal?
The majority of my clients are women.
Okay.
However, and I am so grateful for this, just in the last few weeks, I have started working with 4 new male clients.
That's awesome.
It is amazing. Oftentimes our men, for various reasons, they're hesitant to receive services, whether it's for their physical health, their spiritual health, and certainly their mental health. So I certainly salute and commend those men who have taken perhaps what was a difficult step for them to come forward to seek services with me. And I am certainly eager to hear more about their revelation, their transformation, and their healing as well.
You know, we talk about this a lot on the show, and Andre and I have certainly, in our travels, to give you a little bit, we've known each other since we were 9 years old. So it's we've talked, and we've both, and all of us have traveled down some amazing roads that sometimes I have to look back and say, wow, I can't believe I made it thus far. You know, but in my travels and growing, I learned that my journey wasn't for me. It was for someone else. And so today we're going to have a caller that's going to call in. Jay is an amazing man. I've known him for some time. We used to work together at Walt Disney World Resorts in Orlando. And Jay has had some very challenging things that have happened in his life. And he expressed, that he wanted to call, and we wanted him to talk with you and so forth. And I wanted people to see firsthand just how great Destination Greatness is. Because a lot of times, like you said, our men will shy away from help, especially if it's a woman they have to sit and talk to. But I want them to get, and my listeners and my viewers, those of you that are out there, I want you to get away from that thought process that I can't tell a woman what I'm feeling or what I'm thinking. It doesn't matter who you're talking to, long as it's somebody that you can trust and has your best interests at heart, and that can help you get to that next phase. Would you agree with that, Andre?
Yes, I totally agree with that. As men, sometimes we have our egos, and most men, it seems like we're extroverts, but really we're like introverts, and we like to hold things in, and that's why I'm not going to get into it now, but that's why we have these problems, these health problems, issues that we go through, because we like to hold things in. We was brought up, you tell, don't cry, don't do this, but you bust your head wide open, but you don't cry, you don't say anything, and we develop that pattern from our environment as opposed to the women. They get things out, they let it out. That's why they live much longer than men.
It's true though.
Yeah, absolutely. Those childhood messages, essentially what he was referring to,
exactly.
certainly impact our lives for all of our lives unless we actually take the step to address that pain.
You know, and I always tell people you have to look in the mirror. And sometimes we can't do that. You know, because we're afraid of what we're going to see or what we have to confront.
Correct.
You know, and then I always say, if you can't believe what's coming out of the mouth of the person that you're staring at in that mirror, there's a problem. So how many of us are really walking around here, Shana, broken like that? How many of us are, you know, thinking we're hiding behind something? What we realize is that what we think we're hiding is really showing.
Yes.
Right? You know, so it's interesting. It really is interesting. What is one of the, I know you can't tell us, you know, what you talk about, but what are the main things that people come to you about?
Great question. Well, certainly just going back to the childhood messages, as Andre indicated, a lot of my clients, men and women included, are still dealing with issues from childhood. And oftentimes I refer to this as mama and daddy issues. So the pain of not feeling love, the pain of being neglected. Sometimes, unfortunately, there is actual physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse. I have my adults ranging, you know, from their early 20s to their 50s, and it's the same issue. That pain from whatever transpired in their childhood and not actually receiving that support that they needed at that time. So now, as an adult, those issues are manifesting on multiple domains, of course, in their relationships with others, in their spiritual life, in their social life, in their financial life.
But you know, people don't believe that. People think that they can, it's just what they call it, generational curses. Some folks don't believe in that. It's very real.
It is.
It's very real, because you are going to treat your kids, some of us are going to treat how you were treated. You're going to start treat them that way, and then what are you doing? You're teaching them to be a certain way, so when they have kids, so it is generational. But how do you break that? You know, how do you get to the crust of it? How do you, and it's a painful journey, and a lot of us don't want to take that painful journey. We don't.
Yeah, correct.
So I know it can be very difficult, though, that when you hear the same thing over and over again from different people.
Yes, men and women. Very different, you know, various races, backgrounds, financial status. Certainly one of the most common issue across the board.
Okay, so that's when we come back. We're going to have Andre's going to ask you some questions when we come back, and then at that time, Jay should be calling in on the call. But I just want to make sure that let me see what this question is. I do have questions coming in, so I want to make sure I get them all written down. And then we will be able to go further into you telling us about your expertise. How do you start with a person when they first come in? How do you get them comfortable enough to say, I want to speak to you? Because that first calling is the difficult step. Once they dial the number and then you answer, then where do you take it from there? You know, so those are the kind of things that we're going to talk about. And I know, and if you guys are all listening in, all of the listeners that are listening in and everybody that's tuned in, you don't want to miss the next phase, because again, you're going to get to see Ms. ShannaJefferson at work. You're going to see how she makes a person comfortable, how do they come to her services, and then, you know, as the show go along, we're going to let you know how you can connect with her, how you can get services from her and get help from her and guidance into what you're going through in your life. You know, it's never easy, but we're going to make sure that when you leave the call today or the show today, that you have some steps for you. So you guys stay tuned, and we'll be back with you shortly.
It is Best is a company dedicated to making quality products and committed to being a trusted brand.
USS AAA sauce has a slight hint of heat that transcends into a sweet, tangy flavor. Use AAA on meat, fish, vegetables, and to marinate, and yes, even on your fries. It's AAA because it's always amazing with anything. Purchase your bottle today on Amazon.com/eatisbest or visit www.eatisbest.com to find out where you can purchase your bottle locally. Improve the way you do business by connecting with the Blueprint for the CEO. They help CEOs launch, build, and grow profitable businesses. They are powered by President Mark Davenport, the wealth strategist. He is a nationally recognized financial consultant and business advisor. The CEO, Grace Holden, the champion builder, is an executive advisor, speaker, strategist, and seasoned entrepreneur. Follow them on Facebook, Blueprint for the CEO, or go to their website, blueprintfortheceo.com. To learn about the Formula Mastermind Conference in Maui, September 27th through October 2nd, 2018, visit blueprintfortheceo.com and contact Mark Davenport directly.
Life comes at us fast. One thing that gives us comfort is knowing that someone is there when you need them. Well, at Pleasant Hills Insurance, that's our promise to our clients. Call 770-910-7460 today or visit our website at pleasanthillsinsurance.com for your free, no obligations quote on retirement and life insurance. Many of the large agencies have turned their back on the retired workforce. At Pleasant Hills Insurance, if others can't qualify you, very often we can. Pleasant Hills Insurance proudly provides options for preconditions. So call 770-910-7460 or visit pleasanthillsinsurance.com today for your free, no obligations quote on retirement and life insurance. Pleasant Hills Insurance. We're here when you need us.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Destiny Talk Live. Like I said earlier, if you're listening in and tuning in, this is going to be a very impactful show. We have a awesome guest here today, ShannaJefferson. We have a caller that's going to be on the line in a few minutes, Mr. Jay Green, and we're going to get to see her at work. We're going to get to see her how she makes a client, potential client, comfortable and be able to talk to her and share their moments. So I want you guys to know that this is a judgment-free zone. We respect, appreciate, and value everyone's opinion. So anybody that wants to call in or type it in your questions and so forth, please let's be mindful of what we do here and make sure that we are not sending out hurtful things or saying things that we shouldn't be saying. So I want to know, Jay, are you on the line? Jay, can you hear me? We're going to check in a few minutes. We'll come back. Andre, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. So what we're going to do is go right on in and talk with Shanna real quick. Hey, Rodney, thank you for tuning in. And all of those that are starting to tune in now, thank you very much. I totally appreciate you guys joining us. So, Shanna, when you said you start with your clients and people that come in, a lot of the times that they come to you, it's about childhood issues. And I like what you said about it being mama and daddy issues and not just daddy issues, because you hear that all the time. Mm-hmm. But we got some women out there that can have some poisonous tongues.
Yes.
That can say some things that can keep people from moving forward. Mm-hmm. So when they approach you and they say, hey, look, I'm having this issue and I don't know why. What are the steps you take them through to break it down, to get to the root of the cause?
Mm-hmm. And certainly, it depends on the client. However, generally speaking, first and foremost, I acknowledge the client for where the place that they currently are. Starting where the client is an essential component when it comes to social work as well as therapy. And one of the first challenges that I give my clients is to actually write a love letter to themselves. Yes, I think oftentimes we get caught up in things of this world, for better or for worse, and we forget to remember the person that's always with us, and that's ourselves. And I think you mentioned earlier about looking in the mirror at yourself. Mm-hmm. So it is imperative that we find that self-love for ourselves, because unfortunately, due to those issues in childhood, right, mm-hmm. a lot of us perhaps were not taught the importance of self-love. So just with that one activity, that has been a powerful and impactful starting point for the majority of my clients when they come into services with me.
Andre, did you hear that? A love letter. She has you write a love letter. You know what? I'm going to try that this evening.
Yes. And actually, I'll challenge your entire listening audience today. Just take 10, maybe 15 minutes and, you know, put away your phones, put away the laptop, and grab pen and paper or pencil and paper and write a love letter to yourself.
That, Andre, what do you think about that?
I think that is awesome. It's amazing. I wonder if it had anything to do with there's this thing that's called the power of neuroplasticities, which is the things that you will experience at an early age. Those things could change. I know at one particular time we thought that at early ages we were like a sponge, which we are. And whatever our environment gave us, that's what we have. But we can change that. And I was wondering, does this love letter have anything to do with changing that particular process of your conscious, subconscious mind?
Absolutely. It's certainly a start. And then, yes, and more specifically, when it comes to the causes of mental illness, there are generally 4 causes of mental illness: genetics, biological, which can include chemical imbalances, and the last 2, which are more directly related to what we were just speaking on, psychological and environmental stressors. So those psychological stressors include things such as abuse and neglect, and the environmental stressors may include things such as death or dysfunctional family patterns.
Wow. So I really like that whole idea. I'm going to try that love letter. I think our caller is in. Jay, are you on the line now?
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Thank you so much, first of all, Jay, for calling in. I truly appreciate the fact that you are always striving to do and become a better you, and I applaud you for your efforts, and I applaud you for being vulnerable enough to share your experience and your stories with the audience. So thank you first and foremost.
No, I thank you for encouraging us to do this, because who knows, if you really didn't keep up with me now, I probably would not be on this phone talking now. So I thank you.
You're welcome. So Jay, give Shanna a little bit of information of yourself and our viewers and our listeners a little background of who Jay is.
Okay, and I was thinking about this all day. I had to be very quick, because I do have a long life, but I didn't want it to be long. I understand about radio. I'm also, I grew up in, I was born in Savannah, but I grew up in Yamassee, South Carolina, which I heard that she was from South Carolina. We didn't have no lights there either. We had our houses and water pumps that we had to use to drink water and take baths with. So my dad let me learn, you know, as I grew up, to appreciate what we have now. And my life have been, I want to say I'm 55 now. My life have been pretty much 98% of darkness. To make things really kind of short of what I went through, and this is some things that I haven't even tell my wife about. But when Andre was on the phone, I was kind of hesitant to even talk about it then, because, you know, he's a guy and I'm a guy, and it's kind of funny to talk like that. But when I was coming up, for some reason, I developed breast for women half. I don't know what it was, but some reason I did develop breasts like ladies, and I had to go through surgery. But before the surgery, I have been actually molested by 2 of my family members.
Wow.
I have been beat up in school. I have been held down while they try to squeeze me and stuff like that, and I never really tell anybody about that. Everywhere I go, I always feel like I was worthless. When I went to Walt Disney, it's the only place that I kind of felt part of a family that really didn't judge me for what I did. My first wife who I had, she died because she had kidney problem, but we divorced. 1 month after I filed for divorce, she died. The family blamed me for that. My sister, who worked at Disney, who introduced me to Disney, got killed. I had to go and actually go to her apartment and clean up the blood and all the stuff that she had. My best friend dad, who is my dad, you know, he's passed away 2 years ago. And my mom right now, they don't think she's going to make it through the year. So I'm saying all that to say this. I really never had a bright side in life. Everything was always in the darkness. And, you know, I tried to commit suicide 3 times. One time I almost succeeded. I was in a coma for 4 days, and then they revived me and got out. So that's pretty much in a nutshell.
So before I let Shanna do Shanna, I want to say to you, Jay, I truly appreciate you. Because what you just did was allowed other men and other people to realize that men have feelings too. Your ability to be vulnerable and share. I know I can say for me and probably for Andre, my co-host today, that what you just shared was very necessary in the sense that you're not only just going to be able to help you, but someone else that is going through the same things that you are going through today. You know, I shared a lot of that experience with you through the whole Disney thing, and you know, like I told you, I still every day think about that moment. I think about those times, and that's why I stay in touch with you. But Shanna, I'm going to let you take the wheel right now and let you do Shanna.
Yes, certainly. Well, good afternoon, Mr. Jay Green.
I can't hear.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Can you hear now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, okay. I can hear the other here, yes.
Okay. I certainly commend you, again, for being brave. Certainly there's going to be some healing that's going to transpire because of you sharing your story. And as far as your hometown, interesting enough, Allendale is my hometown. So as you know, Mr. Jay Green, that's only about 30 minutes away from Yamasee. I spent many days actually as a child in Yamasee. My father, once he retired as an educator, he sold tapes and watermelon and peaches and things of that nature. So all through the low country of South Carolina. So I'm very familiar with where you're from, Mr. Jay Green. There is so much power in genuine love and support. And it's certainly clear that that's something that Miss Cherry has shown to you to help you along your journey. I often tell my clients that while I may be an expert, ultimately the client is in the driver's seat and I'm a passenger in that vehicle. And what's important for us, and I think sounds from what you shared thus far, Mr. Green, what's important is to have supportive and genuine people in that vehicle with you to guide you on your journey. So when you go through those rough patches, when you see the darkness, those people are there with you to continue to show you the light. So I certainly salute you. But I would love to hear from you just briefly, Mr. Green. What has helped you heal?
So Jay, before you answer that, we're going to have to do a commercial. And then when we come back, we'll repeat that question for you, and then I want you to answer it, okay?
Fine, yes.
Okay, so Andre, are you still with us? Because I know you have some things that you want to ask, too.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, so we're getting ready to go into break, and you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back with you. Hey everybody, this is your girl Cherry G with Destiny Talk Live. Please join me and my co-host Dr. Michael Shiroya as we address the issues and concerns that are too taboo to talk about. Join us every Thursday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Atlanta NX on IBNXradio.com. At Destiny Talk Live, we are a judgment-free zone because we respect, appreciate, and value everyone's opinion.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey.
Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get in. It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce.
This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
Hey, everybody, we are back. So, Jay, I want to repeat that question, and I want you to let us know. Her question was, what have been some of the things that help you heal so far?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, I know a lot of people told me, hey, yes, it's been 19 years since your sister passed away. Honestly, I have not healed. Unfortunately, I still feel like, I could have prevented my sister's death. I know everyone tell me, well, that's just a guilty thing. But now, I have an autism daughter, which is very stressful too. But every night before I go to sleep, I relive my life completely over since I can remember to now. Usually in the morning, that's the same thing. So every day is a continuous thing, and that's where the pain come in at, and the suicidal thoughts come in. And, only thing I say kept me going is, some of my friends, Cherry, you and like Eric, they call and check up on me, and when I feel like they don't, then I begin to feel I'm lost in everything. My dad used to feel, but he passed away. So I went to alcohol. That got me, I'm not saying that's the cure, but it made me go to sleep. So they try to keep my mind off of things. But no, I have not really healed. And that's why I am stuck, because I think it's from the heart. And I think you have to use your mind to help you heal. But I'm not a mind person. I do everything from the heart. And I think that's how I've been brought up to be. Your heart comes first, and I'm stuck in that situation.
I certainly appreciate you sharing that, Mr. Green. Certainly, healing is a lifelong process. But you have certainly taken key steps to continue the journey of healing, including, as you indicated, having that genuine support from others. That not only genuine, but that non-judgmental support. Oftentimes when people are dealing with a mental illness or any other stressor in life, one of the last things that they need to hear is someone that is blaming them or that is judgmental. They just need unconditional love and support. So for those who are listening in, I would just briefly offer 3 steps to assist you on your healing journey. And the first step is to actually acknowledge the pain. We cannot ignore the pain that you may be experiencing. The second step is to speak to that pain. And one way, as I indicated earlier, is by writing a letter to that pain. And the third step is to find a way to turn that pain into purpose. And Mr. Jay Green, I feel as if one way that you're actually turning your pain into purpose is by sharing your story, sharing your testimony. That's part of not only your healing process, but that's going to save someone else that's listening in today.
That's powerful. Andre, real quick, the 3 things that she said: acknowledge the pain, speak to the pain, and find a way to turn the pain into a purpose. Give me your thoughts on that for Jay right now.
First of all, Jay, I just want to say thank you for being transparent. Thank you for taking the mask off. And the beginning of any type of healing, I do believe, is you have to acknowledge it. And like Shanna was saying, that, writing yourself a love letter. We have to see ourselves the way our Creator sees us, not the way other people see us. So I think those are tremendous, great points to start for sure.
That's awesome. So Jay, tell me what you think about that.
I heard in and out. I couldn't really hardly hear his whole comment. There was some static. If you can really quickly read, I can hear you a little bit better than I can hear him.
Okay, what he said was he wanted to applaud you, and he thanked you for sharing your story, for telling people out there what you're going through, and giving them the opportunity to get help and assistance through you, basically in the nutshell. And so Shanna had mentioned to you about how 3 steps that you take to help you get through where you're going. And she said you should acknowledge the pain, speak to the pain and find a way to turn the pain into purpose. And she said that you are certainly doing that right now by sharing your story. How does that make you feel?
Well, I mean, for once of all, again, like I said, I was very hesitant to saying some things, knowing Andre there, because it just, I've been brought up as, you know, you're a man, and you're going to be a man, or you're going to be, you know, not a man. That's how my dad raised me, and...
Uh-oh, I think we lost him, so we're going to have to get him back on the line. But the thing is, and I want to talk about that before he got cut off, Shanna, and Andre, if you're listening in, that is a problem that we hear a lot of times, especially to our men. You are a man. You do not show emotion. You don't get upset about nothing, and you certainly don't talk about anything that isn't manly or isn't something that a man should let people know about. What do you say to that, Shanna?
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate truth. And that's also the truth that is keeping us in bondage as well. Our men need healing. Our men are hurting. And hurt people, they hurt people.
You know, you can say that even better. Hurt people hurt people. Andre, what do you think about that?
Without a doubt, definitely hurt people. You know, they definitely hurt people. And it's so important as men that we take the mask off and deal with these issues because of the response that happens to when we hold things in. You know, it becomes a physical thing in our bodies. I mean, one of the things that happens, you have heartbeat increase, you have your blood pressure rises, and all of these particular things leads to heart disease, arthritis, cancer. And, you know, somebody told me that maybe last year, and I'm like, man, it's so important that I have to get these things out. And like what Shanna said, I have to speak to that pain. I just can't hold that pain in and just suffocate that pain, but I got to let it out, and I got to talk to somebody that, not just somebody that's going to sit and gossip, not somebody that's going to just tell me what I want to hear, but I need somebody that's there that's going to help me process and help me go through this process and get to the victory part of my life and move forward.
That's awesome. So Jay, are you back on the line?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm by airport. So I guess it could be that also. I just want to thank Andre for his support. Again, that's the first time I ever speak out, especially in a man present, of what happened, because it's just so humiliating. And the only thing I was trying to say is I'm supposed to be a man, and then when I felt like I wasn't because I got teased and squeezed and molested, I never got back to, trying to get that manhood back. I always felt less than a man. And but I thank Andre for the support that he gave me. Again, he's the first one. Even my closest friends, who I call brothers, don't even know about that. So, I do have mental problems. I know I have PSTD, I think, and very major depression, and even got me, as bipolar. So it's I'm taking medicine, but it's a struggle. And I do understand I got to try to turn it into a positive situation or tell my story. But usually I'm so consumed with my daughter and the house, and I just don't get out, and I just only stay pretty much in the house and be depressed. So, that's my life pretty much, and that's why I'm always down and always, feel like I'm going downhill instead of uphill.
So before I have Shanna jump in, Jay, I want to say something, and Shanna, you correct me if I'm wrong on this path. The first way, one, not only is telling your story, but we have to change the words that we use, because words are very powerful. So I learned this from someone the other day. When you speak, whether it's we call it a mild negative word or whatever, it still has a lot of volume and has a lot of weight. So we have to always speak into existence what we want to happen. So if we want to change and we don't want to be depressed, we've got to start making our conversation, our things that we do different. Shanna, let me ask you this. I know he said he gets consumed with everybody else. He forgets about himself. But how important is it for you to take at least 10 minutes a day or whatever? You have to take time to you. How important is that?
It is extremely important. If you or we do not take care of ourselves first, we're not going to be well enough to take care of anyone else. So my challenge to you, Mr. Jay Green, and everyone else that's listening, it doesn't take long, as Ms. Cherry indicated. Just take 10 minutes a day. If you have to start your day that way, take those 10 minutes for yourself. And one powerful way to do that is by starting your day off with positive affirmations. Andre actually alluded to that earlier. Positive affirmations. So changing those negative thoughts into positive thoughts, having a positive mindset, because the power of life and death is truly in the tongue.
You know, and it's funny because Jay will tell you, Jay, that's some of the things I told you needed to start doing in the morning was putting sticky notes of positive affirmations everywhere. So when you get to those moments you start to feel a certain way, you go back and read that sticky note that you wrote, like, I am somebody. I am a great. I am greatness. Right. Yeah. You have to do that. And a part of what we do in this segment, you know, I always like to try to get to the root. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more, Jay, because I want to dive into something that you said, going back to the molestation part of your life, because a lot of men won't admit that. A lot of women won't admit that. But I want to talk to you from that aspect to show how and see if we can get Shanna to help on how do you get past that it wasn't my fault. So we're going to talk more and more about that, because I'm telling you, it's the ugly truth. That's what we talk about here at Destiny Talk Live. What happens in this house stays in this house, exposing the ugly truths that are behind the walls. And unfortunately, molestation is something that happens in probably 98% of the families in America. Not just black families, but families. It doesn't matter what your color of your skin is or what race you're from. This is a disease that attacks everybody. So for all my listeners that are out there, especially my men, the reason why Jay is on this show and Shanna is on this show and I've got Andre on here is I want my men to understand you are important. Your role in society, in family, and in life is important. And we need you to be the kings that you were designed and designated to be. So I want my women to listen, because I want you to understand you can be that make it or break it for that king. If you have a negative tone about you and you are pushing out and spewing out negativity in that man that's in your life, your son, your father, your brother, your husband, whatever it is, they cannot possibly be great with you, because you aren't allowing them to walk into their destiny. And you aren't displaying the attributes of a queen. You know, so we as queens, if we have been through those type of things, we will be that hindrance into our growth and our development. So today, my design for this show is that we break down all barriers. That we not are only talking to our men, but we're talking to our women. I'm reaching out to the kids that may be listening, to our young adults who have been through some situations and things. You're not by yourself. And Jay, again, you are a blessing. And I tell you that every time that I talk to you, I reach out and I want to make sure you're okay. If I don't see him on Facebook, he gets a message from me like, what's going on with you? You know, how what's happening? You know, I make sure that I stay in touch with Jay, because like he said, we worked at Walt Disney World together. I was one of his managers along with his sister. She and I met, we used to perform together in shows, and then I went into management. But I understood that whole phase. You know, I was the last person she talked to on the phone. So it still bothers me to this day. But how I get through it, Jay, is I remember Vicky the days that we were performing. I remember the happy Vicky. That's how I want to remember her. And I refuse to let any of the other negative stuff overshadow what we have. It's a difficult time, especially around her birthday, especially around the time it happened. I find myself going back, and that's when I really reach out to him, because I know if I'm feeling it, I can only imagine what he's going through. So Jay, you know, you always will have my support. You always have the show support. Andre is right there in Orlando, and I told you guys I want to make sure I keep you guys connected, because he's that go-to right there. But Shanna, you gave those 3 points. I love it. acknowledge the pain, speak to the pain, and find a way to turn the pain into a purpose.
Yes.
Speaking to the pain is a whole different animal.
It is. It is.
And I don't know how people get through that. Andre, what do you think about speaking to the pain?
I definitely agree. You definitely have to speak to it. One of the things that you said about, I guess, Mr. Green's sister, you have to think on the positive things. You remember the positive things about her. And in the same way, I have to focus on the positive things about me and continue to speak those things. Because, like I said, death and power is in the hands of the tongue, and the things that we let come out of our mouth, it can be such a blessing, but it can be such a danger. Depends on what we let come out of our mouth. So that is very crucial, important.
Yes. So Jay, let me ask you this, because I see that you do put a lot of memorial stuff out of there. When you're thinking about Vicky and so forth, what are some of the positive things that keeps you breathing and keep you going about her?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. The positive things about Vicky is that she made me laugh. She was my sister. I could go and talk to her about anything, and sometimes I still try to talk to her. I never get an answer, of course, but you know what I'm saying. I just try to do it to keep me going. It's just that she introduced me to so much of a real world, especially when we were at Walt Disney. And she even told me that I was making $13 an hour back then in '98, and I dropped down to $6 and something, just to have that feeling that she had. And she told me to come over so I can be more happy. And when I think of stuff like that, I really appreciate what she did. And I'm not trying not to be negative. It's just that my life, what I went through, is so much a negative till it outshine any positive that I have. A positive is like a drop in the ocean to my negative. But I try to be positive. I try to I named my daughter after her to try to keep her life going on. She was incredible, and I just wish I could have saved her life.
I'm gonna let you take that over, Shanna.
Yes. My question for you, Mr. J. Green, is what are you grateful for? I certainly hear you saying that the positive is only, a drop in the midst of all the darkness and the pain that you have experienced in your life. But there's certainly something or some things that keep you going on a daily basis. So what's just that maybe one thing that you are grateful for?
So Jay, before you answer that, we're going to do a quick commercial break. But I want you to really think about what she asked you. Think about it, because I know it's something that you have to think about. You just ain't going to be able to drop an answer with. But I want you to really think about that. And Andre, when we come back, and I'm going to have you ask some questions. So you guys stay tuned, and we'll be back with Destiny Talk Live.
It is Best is a company dedicated to making quality products and committed to being a trusted brand. It is Best AAA sauce has a slight hint of heat that transcends into a sweet, tangy flavor. Use AAA on meats, fish, vegetables, and to marinate, and yes, even on your fries. It's AAA because it's always amazing with anything. Purchase your bottle today on Amazon.com/eatisbest or visit www.eatisbest.com to find out where you can purchase your bottle locally.
Improve the way you do business by connecting with the Blueprint for the CEO. They help CEOs launch, build, and grow profitable businesses. They are powered by President Mark Davenport, the wealth strategist. He is a nationally recognized financial consultant and business advisor. The CEO, Grace Holden, the champion builder, is an executive advisor, speaker, strategist, and seasoned entrepreneur. Follow them on Facebook, Blueprint for the CEO, or go to their website, blueprintfortheceo.com. To learn about the Formula Mastermind Conference in Maui, September 27th through October 2nd, 2018, visit blueprintfortheceo.com and contact Mark Davenport directly. everybody, this is the part of the show where we take a moment out and we send out prayer requests to people who are going through and who are in need. So for all of you out there that are experiencing some things in your life that you just can't seem to get through or you don't have an answer for, and you're at a standpoint where I just can't make it through, I want you to take a time out to yourself and just reflect. Write down, like Shanna has given us some great things to do. Write a love letter to yourself. Write down acknowledging your pain, speaking to the pain, and finding a way to turn that pain into a purpose. I want you guys to know, whether you believe in God or not, that there are ways that you still can help yourself through a difficult time in the situations you are in. I also want to send a prayer request out there to Hazel and Jackie Newhouse. They lost their brother Richie this morning, so we want to pray for them. And also, guys, you guys know I'm a huge Dallas Cowboy fan. And one of the Dallas Cowboy players, Travis Frederick, was diagnosed with the Guillain-Barré syndrome. We want to pray for him. Our prayers go out to him and his family. And I just want to tell everybody, anything is possible if you believe. All you have to do is believe in that thing that you want to make happen for you. Pray about it. If, like I said, if you don't believe in God and believe in prayer, write it down and believe in it. Know within yourself that you have the power to be great or not to be. You can choose to live today or not. I always say it all depends on you. So I want all of you guys to know that we here at Destiny Talk Live, we're touching and agree with you that God brings what it is in your life that you need, that you are missing. And those of you, like I said, that don't believe in God, that you find that common ground that you need to move forward in life. Again, thank all of you guys for tuning in. And when we come back, we're going to get back into that question. But you're listening to Destiny Talk Live. Attention moms and dads, it's that time of year again. Back to school shopping. Start their year off right with new gear. Shop the hottest items for back to school at SimplyTailorKids.com. And guess what? Simply Tailor is giving up to 40% off and free shipping on orders over $75. Miss Taylor says this is a sale you don't want to miss. Shop today. SimplyTailorKids.com while supplies last. Listen up, everybody. Mark your calendars and join me, Cherry G, with Destiny Talk Live on Thursday, August 30th from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Atlanta NX on IBNXradio.com. From 12 noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, recent Clark Atlanta graduate and author Sabrine Jolly will talk about her book, Same Sky, Different Light. From 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mark Davenport, the wealth strategist, and Grace Holden, the champion builder of the Blueprint of the CEO, will tell us how they help CEOs launch, build, and grow profitable businesses. You simply don't want to miss out. Follow us and stay engaged. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. So, Jay, are you ready to answer your question?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so the question was, what was the one
thing that you are grateful for?
Well, I'm grateful actually for my daughter. I waited a long time to have kids. I had her late. She's 13 now, be 14 soon. And she is autistic, and she needs that support. And I think that's the things that keep me going. That is my why. Why I get up every day and, try to battle what I have to battle, my demons, just to make sure that she's going to be okay. And I think that's what's been keeping me going, and that's my positive, to concentrate on her, not myself, not my wife, my daughter.
Amazing. Thank you for that response. And you said my why, and I would encourage everyone that's listening, if you do not know what your why is, to find out today. Explore what's your why. If you're only getting up each and every day to go to that job, it's time to find a greater purpose for your life. Find out what your why is. What is it that you are grateful for?
Andre, do you have something you want to add to that?
Yes. Like Shanna was saying about your why. We definitely, that to some degree, like I said, help us get up and continue. Like I said, we're going to have, I call them terror barriers. These things that come against us to try to stop us from getting to our destiny. And, I know Mr. Green, he's been through a lot. So there's definitely things, he has definitely terror barriers coming up against him. And that's why it's just so important that he continue to, like she said, focus on his why and continue to move forward. I'd be lying if I sit and say, it's going to be easy. It's not. Looking at the different things that he's been through, it's going to take time. That's why it's so very important that he spend that 10 or 15 minutes a day thinking positive things, saying positive things, because he has to continue to rewire those negative things and change to a positive thing. So good.
That before the break, I told Jay I wanted to address the whole issue of the molestation. First of all, Jay, that's to be able to even say it. I understand the pain that it took to do that and the courage that it took to do that. It's not something that people will readily admit.
I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, and I can hear you now. I'm sorry, I have bad reception here.
Okay, what I was saying was I was very impressed that you shared the fact that you were molested, because that's something even people at our age and so forth, we're afraid to do and we won't talk about. Shanna, I know that is something that is a big thing that you get a lot because it happens. I mean, I would like to say 9 out of 10 people have experienced something in that realm, if we're going to be real about it. For men who have been molested, there's a lot of stigma put on that. Would you care to break down some of that stigma for us?
Yeah, certainly. It's certainly, as you indicated, a lot of stigma, guilt, and shame. And as I indicated earlier, those things are holding our men back from healing. And if our men aren't well, as the pillars of our homes, as the pillars of our communities, our community is not going to be well.
Right.
Our women, we as women, as the queens, those kings, as you indicated, we're not going to be fully well. And our babies are certainly not going to be well. So I certainly challenge everyone that's listening today to, as you indicated earlier, we have to uplift and empower our men. So even if someone does not know Mr. J. Green's story, when you come in contact with him, show him genuine love and support. Sometimes that can be as simple as just speaking, right? Giving someone a hug, right? Saying something positive to him, whatever it is. Find a way to spread love and spread positivity, because certainly everyone isn't walking around, with their wounds on the outside of their body. When it comes to mental illness, is not necessarily something that you can see. And that's part of the stigma as well, because people perhaps think when they hear someone has a mental illness that they can see it, that it looks a certain kind of way. But mental illness has many faces.
Dressed up garbage can.
Absolutely. You can look in the mirror, and that may be mental illness. You can look at your spouse, and your spouse may be someone who has a mental illness. You can look at your teacher, at your deacon, at your pastor, right? And that person may have a mental illness. Mental illness is real, and it does not discriminate. So there is so much power, again, in us as humans, as brothers and sisters, in showing genuine love and support to encourage and uplift each other. And more specifically, since we're speaking of our men, of our kings, we have to ensure that our kings are holistically secure. So that's on all domains: physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, socially, financially. Our men have to be holistically secure. And we, as a community, we as queens, we as everybody, we have a role to play in that.
Right, we do. And I'm glad that you said that, because I always say to everyone, you don't know, your smile may have just saved someone's life.
Yes.
Your hello may have just kept somebody from doing something they didn't have any business doing, you know, like robbing a store, killing somebody. You don't know.
Yeah.
So you have to walk around with a purpose. And for those of you that have experienced, you know, molestation or have been sold into prostitution, who have been raped or whatever, I want to say this to you. I know it's easy for people on the outside looking in to say to you and say, get over it, it wasn't your fault, but it doesn't negate the fact that it happened to you. Mm-hmm. But what I want to offer you, Jay, in that realm, you have to look at, okay, this happened to me. How can I make what happened to me positive? I know that sounds negative, crazy to a lot of people, but I'm going to tell you something. That's what I had to do for Cherry to get to where Cherry is today. You know, it took me 45 years. I'm about to turn 51, but it took me 45 years to learn that. It took me 45 years to understand that I'm never going to get an apology for those people that wronged me. I'm never going to get that apology. So I had to look at, am I really wanting the apology? Or am I just, what am I trying to do? So what I had to do, Jay, was I had to forgive me first. Yes. And let me tell you why I'm saying that is because I held on to that nonsense for so long, and I did wrong to me for so long that I had to forgive Cherry for neglecting Cherry. So I'm saying to Jay, today I want you to forgive Jay for neglecting Jay. I want you to do that. Can you do that for me?
Yes. Yes, I mean, I have to forgive myself, you know, and try to get focused. Again, you know, I do believe in God. I always ask God, why this happened to me with my daughter, and maybe He's trying to say it happened because her being in that condition might be keeping you alive, keeping your hope going to get to that next stage. That something may, you know, happen. So I kind of look at it like that. She is my wife, because I might have more coming down the pipe later on, but right now she's keeping me alive. So yes, I have to forgive myself and try to move on.
So Andre, tell me a little bit. You know, we talk about this all the time, and you being a minister, you run into this all the time. I'm sure you have a door that with lines outside of it of people that are broken in this realm. Can you give us some pointers from a minister standpoint, from the part of where you are in your life? How do you coach people into this healing process?
Well, one of the things that Mr. Green said, he said, I do believe in God, and since I am a minister, therefore I do believe in God, and you know, I believe in the power of God. So we as Christians, we really have to lean and depend on God and cry out to God. God, He sees everything. He knows exactly where Mr. Green is, and I mean, He's taking the right steps now. Like Shanna said, you know, He's acknowledged the pain. He's speaking to the pain, and you know, that's one of the key things. I have to get around a community that's going to support me, like she said, that's going to uplift me, that's going to encourage me, that's going to come alongside of me and help me get to where God wants me to be. So I would encourage, one of the things I encourage people to do is find people around you that's going to continue to help you go forward. Not people that's going to hold you back, not people that's going to judge you, not people that's going to talk about you, but people that are there to help you move forward. And I really believe in the power of prayer. That's my main thing. But I feel like God give us different things that we should do to take steps to help us to get healed from what we need to get healed from.
I believe that. So Shanna, let me ask you this, because I love the stuff that you're pouring into Jay, not just to Jay, but to my audience out here today. Especially, I've learned some things for myself, and I truly appreciate you giving us your time today. What has been the most difficult thing for people to get past that you have helped? What has been the most difficult breakthrough for them to get a breakthrough?
I I think really it goes back to what we've already discussed. Our parents or our guardians, they're the first people that we expect to love us, to ensure that we're safe, to support us. So when that does not happen, the implications of that are so mighty. And I mean, I see it on a daily basis, how it impacts us, including the ones who aren't ready to acknowledge it. That pain is real. And until you acknowledge that pain and address that pain, including perhaps it may be speaking to your pastor, or if the issues continue to run deep, I mean, I certainly encourage you to seek the help and the guidance of a psychotherapist such as myself. But in order for you to move on in life without being stuck in that unfortunate place that you were, you have to speak to that pain. You have to turn that pain into purpose. And I love what you said earlier. One of the benefits of healing, as you indicated, Cherry, is to forgive yourself. You absolutely have to forgive yourself. And actually, a matter of fact, just this week, I did a group, and we talked about anger management. And this quote can relate to essentially anything in our lives. But that is, he who angers you controls you. So whether it's a person that harmed you at any point in your life, well, it's negative thought beliefs, right? Whatever it is, if you allow that person or that thing or that idea to control you, it will. So that's why it is important to take your power back.
I like that. So, Jay, I'm going to ask Shanna to do this for me. Well, actually, Shanna, I want you to do this for not just Jay, but for Andre, for myself, and everyone that's listening to this broadcast and tuned in. Give us at least 3 steps besides the ones that you gave. We're now at the point where we've acknowledged our pain. Okay? What's our next steps?
Wow, great question. The number one would be find your why. And we hinted on this earlier today. You absolutely must know what your purpose is. So seek understanding of what your purpose is in life. The second step is to actually write that out. Not only just your purpose, but actually write out your vision. Envision the life that you want to create for yourself, because there's certainly power in how we think. For how we think determines how we feel, and how we feel determines how we behave. So write your vision. And the third thing is to share your story, essentially as Mr. Jay Green is doing today. Tell your testimony, and certainly there is no testimony without a test, right? And that doesn't mean that you have to get on social media and share it with the world. If you're not at that place, then don't do it. You know, find that one person that you trust, that you can talk to get it out. You have to release it in order to receive and experience the revelation that will occur in your life.
You know what, I'm about to get up and run around this building real fast because, you know, I say that a lot, and I learned that on my own. I didn't have someone to sit and talk to me about it because, unfortunately, when we grow up, we're told that if you tell anybody your stuff, you crazy, and you can't talk about your stuff. So, you know, a lot of times, Jay, and you can attest to this, to me and Andre too, we'll keep that stuff locked in, and we won't say nothing to nobody. Yes. But Jay, I want to tell you again, if I didn't express it earlier, I'm expressing it now. What you just did is you told us what your why is. I want you to understand what you've been doing. You have written out your vision, but we're going to help you write it out if you haven't today before we get off this show. And you shared your story. So you jumped from your vision to your story. You told your testimony. And I want you to truly understand just how many people you have helped out of a sticky situation today.
Yes.
You have helped a whole lot of people. You've helped me. You know, so Shanna, let's see if we can help Jay write down his vision. So I'm gonna let you take the realm on that.
Okay, awesome. Well, actually, Jay, do you have pen and paper with you?
Actually, I'm outside because the signal is really bad.
Okay.
But I'm sure I can somehow redo, go back to this show so I can actually hear some of the comments that I missed.
Okay.
So I can, if you can still tell me, then I can write it down and then I have to go back to the show.
Absolutely. And actually, let's just do it this way for purposes of the show today. Close your eyes. Just close your eyes. And for everyone that's listening today, I want you to close your eyes. And now that you have your eyes closed, I want you to envision your greatness. What does that look like? How do you feel? Who do you see? What are the experiences that you're having? Envision your greatness. Envision a greater life for you. And while you still may have your eyes closed, or you can open them, I'll actually share this with you. Vision is one of the tools for success in my book, The Greatness Toolbox, 33 Tools for Success. And my reflection is, for vision is not of the eyes, but the mind. Vision is your conceptualization of your dreams. Vision provides you with direction. Without vision, your dreams will certainly perish. So the ability to envision and conceptualize your dreams is imperative on your greatness journey. And this is an activity that you can do on a daily or at least a routine basis. Just close your eyes and envision your greatness. Envision your happy place. Envision being in a better place. Envision impacting not only your life, but someone else's. And last but not least, envision the legacy that you're going to leave.
You know what? So Destination Greatness, guys, that's where we are right now on IBNXradio.com at DestinyTalkLive. Vision is not for the eyes, but for the mind. I wrote that in there in the comments. When we come back, y'all, we're going to break this down. Jay, I want you to give us just a snippet of your vision when we come back from this commercial break. You guys stay tuned. You're listening to Destiny Talk Live.
Many say that I
Welcome back to Destiny Talk Live. This is the part of the show where we say happy birthday and congratulations to folks out there doing some things. So for my birthdays, happy birthday Gina Jameson. I want to say happy belated birthday to Deborah Ashley, belated birthday to Derek Padilla, Andre Joseph Mack, Charles Poppy Romeo Lynch, Carla Stewart, Alec Reyes, Robert Guy, and Desmonte Jones. And today we've got some people celebrating birthdays. I want to say happy birthday to R.A. Timken, Abby Gist, Jonathan Johnson, Les Amaryllis, LaShayla S. Bryant Davis, Michael Glover, Frank White, and Daniel Andrade. And then tomorrow, two of my favorite people in the world are having birthdays. So I got to say this to my main man, Vernon Nixon. Happy birthday to you for early for tomorrow. Also to Vernice Colquette Studstill and Elba Canelli Simmons. And then I want to say congratulations to Misty Bishop for 2 years at Thurgood Marshall School of Law. I want to say happy birthday to Aaron White. Congratulations to Patty Johnson Mantello for starting a new position at Eat the Trees, Drink the Leaves. Quiana Wingfield, and if I said your name wrong, I apologize, but 2 years at Giselle Publishing. And Daniel Henschel, he is one of my new friends from Germany, all the way out from Germany that listens to our show. He has a new position at Select Team in Germany. So, and also Ashton Washington, new position with Spectrum. Congratulations, happy birthday. You guys, if you're out there turning up, turn one up for me, but be safe while you do it. Happy birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday.
Hey, everybody. Tune in to Destiny Talk Live every Thursday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Atlanta NX on IBNXradio.com. Join your hosts, Cherry G and Dr. Michael Shiroya, as they engage in conversation that will expose, educate, and empower you to walk into your destiny. At Destiny Talk Live, we are a judgment-free zone where we respect, appreciate, and value everyone's opinion.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are coming down into the final moments of our show. We've still got about, I think it's about 20 or 30 minutes, but we're going to go ahead and start talking about the exercise that Shanna had us do with the closing in the eyes and doing the vision. Jay, you're up first. So what did you think about the exercise?
Exercise is right on. The reason I say that because when I close my eyes, I thought of the vision I did for my daughter in the backyard. So she can't go to regular parks. I built a park for her and her friends in the backyard. It brought really happiness to me at that time. So I think that exercise of closing your eyes, making a vision, not just to make other people happy, but, for your why and then make other people happy. I hoping that counts. It's a small vision, but that vision came true, and I got another vision for the third yard. And hopefully, and in the future, I'll have a vision that will keep me going. That's a fantastic exercise, and that's the first thing came to my mind when she told us to do the exercise.
So, Shanna, can you please tell him, because I don't want to tell him, that ain't no small vision.
It's certainly not. That is powerful and impactful.
Powerful and impactful. I mean, you built okay, so your daughter has special needs. She can't go to the park, but you built a park for her in the backyard. Jay, you are already there, but we're going to put some positive feelings and words. Next time we talk to Jay is going to be on the platform speaking to other people.
Okay.
That's the vision I'm seeing, and I'm speaking into you, because you need to be out there telling people how they can come out of that 98% darkness of their life. So you hold on to that. Don't go anywhere. So, Andre, did you do the exercise?
Yes, I sure did.
Right.
I saw myself, for one thing, teaching in the state of Florida different classes called the Mind Print, Mapping Out Your Destiny Through the Power of Your Mind, teaching guys in jail about their conscious and subconscious, changing that. I see myself with 3 streams of income. All of a sudden, a cherry popped up. And I said, that gotta mean cherry. I see myself doing things with her, speaking, and just changing the community, just helping in the helping the service business, helping people change their minds about certain things. And I'm going to stop it there, but I can't go on. But I'm going to leave it right there for now.
So, Shanna, I think it's great because I did the exercise, and it's kind of funny that you brought this up because I kind of did this about a couple of weeks ago. I never heard that before till now. It was just something. So that's confirmation. What you just said is confirmation for me for what I was thinking. So I asked God a long time ago to help me walk into my purpose. He started this show for me. Okay, I've not even been on the radio a year yet, and I'm already in 8 different countries. Okay, so that's how I know it's a destiny. But I wanted it to be more than just a radio show. I wanted it to be a platform to where I'm out working in the community. I'm talking to different people, and I'm impacting folks, not just on the air. So I just want to share a little bit with you guys, and I can't get all into the details, but what you told me to do was like confirmation for what I saw myself doing. Yes. So yes, I do have some speaking engagements coming up. I do have an opportunity where at the university that I attend, that what I'm doing right here is going to be a platform there, and doing panel discussions. So I want to thank you for that, because you didn't know that.
I didn't.
But because you are a part of Destination Greatness, and what you do is transcend, can't nobody take what you have, because that's what God put in your heart. Jay called in here. He was very vulnerable. And the softness in your voice, the accepting in your voice for me, not only did you help him, you helped me. So Jay, if there's something that you want to say to Shanna before you leave, can you tell her now and the audience of what today was for you?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You open up a vision for me. So I never thought it in that kind of way. And you say some things that I need to do. I must forgive myself. And, you help me to reappreciate my wife. And hopefully I can, I can share more. Just my story, not just for me, but for other people. I really, I'm okay. I just want other people to understand that pain is for real. It's a real thing. And if we keep saying it's not, or you keep having negative people talking to you all the time saying you're just crazy, you just get over it, no. I appreciate you, and I appreciate Andre and Sherry. I appreciate you guys for letting me come in so I can get some information to help me to this next level. So my whole month that I'm going to work on is trying to forgive myself and keep a vision. Do it every morning. Instead of having those dreams, dream of a vision and see if I can get it accomplished.
Wow, let me tell you something. The words that you're going to say, take out of your vocabulary. Hopefully, and I'm going to try. So you are going to do, and I will do. So you understand what I'm saying? Same word, just different context. So no more hopefully, and no more I'm going to try. It is I'm going to do.
Yes.
So you agree?
Yes, I'm going to do. It's no try. Either you do or you do not do.
So you're going to do. Shanna?
Oh, wow. I just give praise to the Most High, because I'm just a vessel on this journey. So, it's certainly not my doing. It's the strength and the vision that he instills in me on an ongoing basis. So I certainly, again, give praise to the Most High. To you, Jay, continue to be a beacon of light for yourself, for your daughter, as well as others, as you not only change your mindset and your life, but as you impact the world. And I stand with you, Jay.
I know, I stand with you. Andre stands with you. I've been a cheerleader of yours for years now. And, what is going on 20 years? So, we've been riding and dying for 20 years, and I'm going to keep on riding and dying with you. We're going to keep on building together. We're going to keep on changing the world together. So I appreciate you and your vulnerability. I appreciate you just calling in and sharing. And I thank you for all the lives that you changed today. I thank you for that. So I know you have to go, and we're going to call and talk with you later. But again, Jay, thank you so much for being a part of the show today.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Andre.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Well, I know one thing. Like you said, Jay really, he may not realize it, but I mean, he freed a lot of men today. A lot of men, they have the issue. They don't want to really say anything, but Jay was brave enough, transparent enough, and he took off the mask to come on live radio and to get help from Shanna. Shanna, you're just awesome. You're amazing. And like I said, I'm looking at Jay. I see his future as he continued to do what Shanna told him to do. I know his future is bright, it's elegant, and it's irresistible. This is powerful. And this is what Destiny Talk is all about, like you said.
Yep. It's about exposing the ugly truths behind the wall. And while we're talking about living behind masks, I want to put this out here because I think it's something that we all need to support. And the official pro players are putting it on. They're partners with the Rose of Sharon, and they're presenting Living Behind the Mask, a masquerade gala for domestic violence. And that is going to be on Sunday, October 28th. At 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. You guys can go on to, I think it is Eventbrite, and find out about it, or go to www.livingbehindthemaskgala.com. If you guys are able to come here for it, or can be a part of it, or just donate to the cause, is talking about domestic violence. And I tell you what, guys, we all have to come together as a people. Shanna, you have just been an amazing gift today. I love the name from the beginning, Destination Greatness, because I'm always talking about being your best self, walking into your purpose. You gave just very simple tips that we don't even think about. It wasn't anything deep. You didn't go philosophical on us. You didn't break out with Battlestar Galactica words, as I call them. You were very plain, very deliberate, and I like the fact that you said you let God use you. Continue to do that. Continue to be that beacon of light and hope. Continue to walk in the journey that you're walking in because of the greatness of who you are and what you're allowing God to do through you. A lot of times we get beyond ourselves, we get in our way, we think it's us, but the mere fact that you broke that thing down and said it ain't you, it's the God in you. And Jay just put on here, thank you guys for your help. I feel so much better. When you can change the mindset and the life of one, you have done more than enough.
Yes.
More than enough. And I'm telling you, you made confirmation for Cherry today. You made my journey, because as I get to the documentary that's coming out in January, The Road to Redemption, I have anxiety about it because I'm going to be sharing that tough stuff in my life. And I know it's what God has me to do. And I know it's not going to be easy. I still have anxiety about it. I still sometimes sit and be like, oh God, I can't believe I'm about to do this. But I know it's a purpose, and it's the reason why God has me doing it. Jay is going to be a part of that documentary. I have some other amazing people that are going to be in there. Andre is one of our people that are going to be on, giving some counseling and guidance through this whole thing. And Shanna, we would love to extend that invitation out to you to be a part of this project. I'm doing it because it's so many people out there that need it.
Yes.
you know, people look at you all the time and they think that you got it so together. And I tell people all the time, you don't want these shoes. You don't know where they've been. Mm-hmm. Don't think you want my life, because you don't know what this life has for you. You know, I'm rough around the edges because of a reason. I'm not rough around the edges because I feel like that's what I want to do. But I want to say, Shanna, give us real quick how people can reach you, how they can buy your books, and so forth.
Sure, absolutely. My website is www.ShannaJefferson.com, and that's SHANNA Jefferson.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at ShannaJefferson, as well as at Destination Greatness. On Facebook, you can follow me at Entrepreneur Shanna Jefferson. I have several books. They're all inspirational, motivational, including the one that I read from today, 33 Tools from Success. And those books can be purchased from Amazon, or you can always go to my website as well.
So you guys, you have it there, and I'm going to make sure you have Shanna's information on there. I want to thank everybody that took the 2 hours out today to join in with us, to follow us, to listen. I know that you have walked away today with some stuff that's going to change your life forever. Again, as always, join us every Thursday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Atlanta NX on IBNXradio.com. This is your girl, Cherry G, and you guys have a wonderful weekend.
Listen up, everybody. Mark your calendars and join me, Jerry G, with Destiny Talk Live on Thursday, August 30th from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Atlanta NX on IBNXradio.com. From 12 noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, recent Clark Atlanta graduate and author Sabrine Jolly will talk about her book, Same Sky, Different Light. From 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mark Davenport, the wealth strategist, and Grace Holden, the champion builder of the Blueprint of the CEO, will tell us how they help CEOs launch, build, and grow profitable businesses. You simply don't want to miss out. Follow us and stay engaged.
Job, hey, motivation. Haters better get on your job. Tell them, haters get on your job. It's motivation. Sucker, get on your job. If you hate, get on your job. You can look me in my eyes, see I'm ready for whatever. Anything don't kill me, make me better. I ain't dead, you can take the fame and the cheddar and the game and the deal. I'm still a go-getter. Take my freedom for the moment, but it ain't forever. I got the spirit of a god, heart of a killer. I'm a king, seen hanging with some cold killers. I ain't never backed down or ran from no. I ain't sat down yet. Here I stand to go gorilla. Even if I'm all alone, I stand at folks and tell them jump. Giving they don't get no realer. 5'9" with the soul of a 6'4". I separated the fakes, paralyzed from the waist down. From the real stand-up guys of the A-town. Can't even look me in my eyes, put your face down. I'm out of jail, what you gotta say now? Motivation's faking, only gonna inspire. Motivation, all you hating is fuel to my fire. Motivation, chicken plotting on the crown salt drive. It's motivation, hey, but I ain't slowing down, I ain't stopping. Motivation, yeah, don't stop my show. Motivation, you ain't know I don't stop, I grow. It's motivation, sucker can't make me suffer, just make me stronger and make me tough. It's me locked in a box, looking happy to see. Put anybody on top, any rapper but T.I.P. But back to reality, G. OD still carrying me. I run this, spread your rumors, kick all your little dumb tell lies, laugh at the time that I'm gon' get. Make you feel better, picture me over and done with. Punk, come with all the gossip you can come with. Small thing to a giant, I can overcome this. Jail, I done done this, rap I'm just having fun with. I could be a local joker, never had one hit. New finish alone to get me dumb rich. Why these rappers selling records getting pennies? If real hustle sell any, I'ma get plenty. If God with me, who can be against me? Sucker can't make me suffer, just make me tough. Motivation, chickens thinking only gonna inspire. Motivation, all you hating is fuel to my fire. Motivation, chicken plotting on the crown salt drive. It's motivation, hey, but I ain't slowing down. job. Tell them haters get on your job. Motivation. Get on your job. Tell them haters get on your job. Hey, motivation. Haters better get on your job. Tell them haters get on your job. It's motivation. Sucker, get on your job. If you hating, get on your job. Motivation. It's faking, only gonna inspire. Motivation. All you hating is fuel to my fire. Motivation. Sick and plotting on the crown, so just motivation. Hey, but I ain't slowing down, I ain't stopping. Motivation. Yeah, don't stop my show. Motivation. You ain't know I don't stop, I grow. Motivation. Sucker can't make me suffer, just make me strong.
Thank you for tuning in to today's show. You want to stay connected and engaged? All you have to do is follow us and join our network. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Simply type in Destiny Talk Live or subscribe to our YouTube channel and website. YouTube, you got it, Destiny Talk Live, or www.destinytalklive.com, or simply go to ibnxradio.com/DestinyTalkLive.
IBNX Radio.